Welcome to Derrick Barge Winch System Safety Training. After watching this video, you must successfully answer at least 8 of 10 test questions correctly in order to receive credit for this training. The audience for this class is anyone who may board or come near an Associated Terminals derrick barge, commonly referred to as a crane barge or rig, 2 of which are pictured here. In this training, we will see what a derrick barge winch system is and what it's used for. You will see the winch system related roles and responsibilities of derrick barge crew members as it relates to the winch system. You will see the basic operating procedures of a winch system. You'll see the winch system related safety hazards present and the precautions needed to protect you, other people, equipment, and cargo. This training is not intended to teach you how to operate a derrick barge winch system. In order to unload cargo from a ship to a cargo barge, we use derrick barges, commonly referred to as cranes or rigs. Our fleet of 14 modern, high-capacity floating derrick barges are equipped with Gottwald brand cranes. Our derrick barges are anchored at various locations midstream in the Mississippi River. There are many stationary and moving hazards on the deck of a derrick barge. The most obvious is the crane itself, but there are 2 less obvious, essential, but potentially dangerous pieces of machinery on deck. Our derrick barge winch systems. The primary purpose of the winch system is to start, move, and stop 2,000-ton cargo barges with control and safety. The winch can also be used to move the derrick barge itself. All Associated Terminals midstream derrick barges use Winch brand winch systems. A derrick barge winch system is a series of 3 motorized drums that wind and unwind cable, a control station, and the cable connected to those drums. There are 2 independent winch systems on each derrick barge deck, one on the starboard side and one on the port side, as shown here. The 2 winch systems are never used at the same time for safety reasons. Due to the very heavy load associated with moving the barges and crane, the winch system has been designed for slow movements. Smooth acceleration and deceleration rates, in conjunction with delayed brake application, allow for the load to naturally find a settled state. Here's an overview of operating the winch system. The control console. Each winch system on the derrick barge has its own control console. Once operators enter the control console area, they remove the protective box to reveal the control panel. The control panel faces the water and has an emergency stop button, 3 joysticks, and 3 payout override buttons. The emergency stop button is on the right side of the control panel and is labeled E-Stop. Pressing the button down immediately stops the winch system. Twisting and pulling the button allows the winch to be used again. Each joystick operates a separate winch drum. The left joystick operates the drum to the left of the operator. This is the stern cable drum. The right joystick operates the drum to the near right of the operator. This is the head cable drum. The combination of the left and near right joysticks and drums are often referred to collectively as the pulling winch. The middle joystick operates the far right drum. This is the shifting cable drum. Let's take a closer look at a single joystick. A joystick has an enable trigger on the shaft of the joystick. It will not work unless the trigger is squeezed and held during movement. Joysticks move by pushing up, by pulling down. They do not move from side to side. Although the winch system is geared to ramp up to speed and to slow down gradually, the joystick should still be pushed or pulled with a deliberate but slow motion. Pulling back towards the operator activates the drum motor and pulls or reels a corresponding cable in. Pushing forward away from the operator releases the brake on the corresponding drum. Think of it as putting your car in neutral. On top of each joystick is a brake release button, which has different uses depending on the joystick. The button does not necessarily release the cable you initially think it will. Below each joystick is a payout override button. Underneath the control panel is the foot pedal. When the foot pedal is first stepped on and held down, an alert siren will sound and the alert light will go on for 3 seconds. The foot pedal must be held down during the entire operation. Drums and rigging. Each drum can reel in, pay out, brake, and be in a neutral position. The cables corresponding to each drum may be rigged in different ways depending on need. Not only are the ropes on deck dangerous, but the winch system cables also cause a hazard, whether in motion or not. Most of the time, the winch system shifting cable will cross through the port and starboard derrick barge access point. Always go under the cable, never attempt to hurdle the cable. If you cannot access the Derrick barge safely, consult the crew boat captain or your supervisor for alternate boarding options, such as access via the stern access point. No one can touch or cross a winch system cable while the winch system is in use. Just like ropes under tension, winch system cables will snap back and possibly injure someone if they break. Cables can snap in any direction, which of course includes upward and can also wrap around deck bits. Stand clear of the barge shifting cables during all winch system operating maneuvers. Shock loading occurs when a load is quickly jerked in any direction or if it free falls before the rigging catches it. Shock loading the cables should be avoided. Monitoring cable tension during cargo handling, releasing and adding tension as needed to prevent damage from stress, is crucial for the operator. Incorrect operation can also lead to bird caging. Bird caging is when a short section of rope with outer strands that are much longer than the rope and therefore stand up. Roles and responsibilities. It's not just the winch operator that has work to do when the winch is used. Everyone should be aware of the winch and stay clear of designated areas. Some crew members will have rope handling and cable handling responsibilities. The ideal personnel for any winch operation is an operator, stern rope deckhand, safety rope worker on the bow, and a flagger. Generally, oilers operate our barge winches. Regardless of job title, any employee that operates a winch system must be certified by Associated Terminals to do so. Winch operators are trained through a combination of online Derrick barge winch system operations training and on-the-job training. A winch operator must be aware of all people on the deck and be sure they are clear of the winch systems before operation. Winch operators are also required to ensure that all personnel are clear from the cable area prior to engaging or operating the winch systems. If the winch operator's vision is obscured, a flagman should be used to communicate if the area is clear. If a flagman is not available, it is required that the winch operator visually confirms that the area is clear. The operator is responsible for communicating with all team members. The operator is also responsible for inspecting the operation before, during, and after the winch system is in use. Some team members will work with ropes used in conjunction with the barge. All team members must be aware when a winch system is in operation and stay out of no-go zones. No-go zones are usually marked with yellow paint. Operators must visually inspect and listen during operation for anything unusual. They must stop operation immediately if they see or hear anything out of the ordinary. Inspection and maintenance. The following will be inspected for damage before winch system use: the control panel, foot pedal, winch shaft, gears, brakes, motor, electrical wiring, and side plates. Also, ensure all guards are in place. One common source of lost time and expense is winch system cable replacement. Inspect all wire, rope, or cable that will be in use. Make sure all cable paths are clear. During winch use, operators also must inspect cable as this is the only time the cable is visible. Crew members must clean and lubricate winch gears and the chain between the motor and drum. Safety hazards and precautions. If improperly used, winch systems can cause significant damage to personnel, property, and cargo. It is vitally important to recognize the hazards of operating a winch system as well as working near one. Be aware of all potential hazards on the barge deck. Stay clear of the crane swing path. Always be aware of hand placement. Working near winches may potentially expose employees to hazards such as body parts caught in a winch drum, being struck by a broken line or cable, and tripping over a line or cable. Use a device or tool, never your hand, to keep the winch line spooling properly. The winch drum should be enclosed in a cage if practical. Stay off the deck unless you're part of the operation. Never stand in, on, over, or in line with lines or cables connected to winches when they are under tension. Yellow areas. As mentioned, certain areas on the Derrick barge will be painted yellow. Everyone must stay clear of these no-go areas during winch operation. Even when the winch is not in operation, no one should be in these areas unless work is being performed. Cables and winch system equipment are in these areas and could move at any time. Winch operators should not operate if someone is in the yellow. If you hear a bell, move from the yellow areas, also called corners or no-go zones, immediately. Disregarding yellow areas by any crew member is grounds for dismissal. At all times at a location, PPE requirements include a company-issued uniform, protective eyewear, a hard hat with light attached, a U.S. Coast Guard-approved Type 5 personal flotation device with light and whistle attached, and steel-toed boots. Hearing protection must be used in noisy areas that are marked with signs. Gloves, protective clothing, respirators, face shields, and other specialized PPE must be worn as required by the job.
You have stop work authority. If you see an unsafe condition or unsafe behavior, stop the job and report it to your supervisor or to the safety department immediately. You also have an obligation to report all incidents, regardless of the severity, to your supervisor and the safety department immediately. To contact the safety department, call our 24-hour safety hotline at 504-228-9480. Please take a moment to store this number in your phone or write it down to reference as needed.
In this training, we saw what a Derrick Barge winch system is and what it's used for. You saw the winch system related roles and responsibilities of Derrick Barge crew members as it relates to the winch system. You saw the basic operating procedures of a winch system. You saw the winch system related safety hazards present and the precautions needed to protect you, other people, equipment, and cargo. This training was not intended to teach you to operate a Derrick Barge winch system.
This training has been produced by the Associated Terminals training team. Please contact training@associatedterminals.com if you have any questions about the format and delivery of this training.
If you have any questions or comments regarding the content of this training compared to your experiences in the field, contact the safety department by emailing safety@associatedterminals.com.
Thank you to the employees listed here for producing this training.